unconstitutional. Her suspension, which followed a heated altercation with Senate President Godswill Akpabio, was based on alleged gross misconduct, but the court's ruling last Friday not only questioned the legality of the suspension's duration, it also highlighted the broader issue of representation, stating her constituents were effectively denied of a voice in the Senate for nearly an entire legislative session. Now, while the court upheld the Senate's rights to discipline its members, it also fined Akpoti-Uduaghan 5 million naira for contempt, citing a satirical Facebook post that violated a gag order. Still, the senator has declared the judgment a victory and announced her intention to resume legislative duties. Now, as the Kogi Central senator looks to return to the red chambers, then their legal interpretations clash with political realities. We probe what this means for legislative independence, for due process, and indeed the rights of constituents. Again, welcome to the show. I'm joined now by barrister and solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, Maxwell Okpara. He joins me virtually today. Many thanks for joining me, counsel.
It's my pleasure once again. Good afternoon.
Yes.
How's your day?
Very well. How's your day going as well?
Very enjoyable.
Fantastic. Talk to me about what you make of the court's ruling saying Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan should be reinstated. That suspension by the Senate, dismissed by the court.
Well, I want to start by saying that to use this opportunity to continue to advise that let our judicial officers, let the judges, let them give a firm decision, a decision that my grandmother in the village can read and understand, without making it ambiguous. If they are going to give judgment, let them make the judgment to be straightforward. Let them give a firm decision. Example, that Senator Natasha Akpoti, you will pay 5 million naira for for disobeying court order, and the money should be paid in court or to the Senate or to the Federal Republic, the Court of Federal Republic of Nigeria. Two, you will do apology to the Senate, and you will do that apology before you step into the Senate. And that apology must be published, making it straight so that it will avoid ambiguity. Then you will now resume. And the way you're going to resume, you will first of all write to the Senate through your lawyer and inform them that you are about to resume. Copy to the security at the gate. Make the judgment firm, straightforward, to avoid Maxwell giving his own interpretation, to avoid you in the Senate giving your own interpretation, because everybody are not lawyers. I don't know whether you're getting what I'm saying.
Yes.
Now you say that they are going to give you tender apology. When? How? Where? You ask in the Senate, you are the Senate, because no, I've not read the judgment holistically. I'm just going by, just like every other person. I've listened to the lawyer on both sides. If you ask him that he should recall him, he should recall that the Senate should recall her. You are not giving the Senate another power to decide. You should just that you should resume. And upon your resumption, nobody should stop you. Nobody should obstruct you. Nobody should prevent you from accessing the legislative building, from accessing your office. You should be given rights and privileges as they never as it was before. You make this judgment. Now I learned that they said the judge said he should apologize. Good. I learned that the judge said that he should pay for fine. Has he been convicted? It is what we call civil liability. It doesn't amount to criminal conviction. You cannot say Natasha is not an ex-convict. No. That one is on that. Then two, you ask me that the Senate should recall, and if the judgment said that the Senate should recall him, then Natasha have to wait, pending when the Senate should recall her. Now, the Senate, did you give the Senate the time upon which to recall her. These are the issues.
Does the court need to give, I'm sorry, Counsel Maxwell, does the court need to give such a directive? I mean, the directive is clear, at least going by fresh reports from the court last week, stating categorically that her constituents should not be denied a voice of representation and that she should be recalled. The Senate has no such powers to suspend an elected senator, elected representative. Well, so is that not clear enough? And should the Senate not just simply act on that?
Now, the question you should ask yourself is that, does the Senate have even a right to suspend somebody from representing her zone? You should ask yourself that question. So the point I'm making is that you understand the society we are in. This is a society that anarchy takes over the rule of law. These are the society, some people in authority choose the law to obey and the one not to obey. The point I'm making is that you can now see that for the past 3 days, this judgment was given. A lot of interpretation, including you. Probably that was the reason why even invited me into this program. Now, the point we are making is that if the judge can make it fair, nobody has a right. Because I saw Natasha last night saying that she's going to reissue today.
Yes.
Now, does the court say that you should reissue, or the court say that you should recall? Have they recalled you? Because you are suspended, and the court said recall. They're supposed to give you a letter.
But going by that, ruling from the court, at least again from the fresh report from the court, that prelim report from the court, it states that the Senate has no such right to suspend an elective representative, which means simply that she should just simply, does that not mean, let me put that as a question, does that not mean she should simply resume her legislative duty?
You can now see that you are now with me. In my explanation, you cannot see that I have come back to what I was saying. Because one, the court having declared, now you are in the studio now, you are having my handset. You collected my handset. Court declared that you don't have the right to collect my handset. Collecting my handset by force is wrong. Is that not declaration?
Yeah.
After that declaration, what next? You should have ordered that you are hereby ordered that I should collect my handset forthwith. I don't know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
You cannot say, I hereby ordered you to give me my handset. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ordinarily, by ordinary that declaration, if it's in the same society, the Senate is supposed to issue a press communique saying that we have been served with the court has declared our action null and void. Senator Natasha Akpoti come and resume. But considering the kind of country we are in, evidence of previous misconduct, somebody will say, God to just declare that collecting a handset is wrong. God to just declare that I don't have the right to collect a handset. But the court did not ask me that I should give you my handset. I don't know whether you're getting what I'm saying. So that's why I'm saying that if now Senator Natasha Akpoti supposed to go and resume, going by that court judgment. But are you, with the Senate, the security people, would they allow her access? That will also lead going back to the court, filing contempt of court, and what have you.
Yeah.
So, what I'm saying, I believe that I hereby ordered that this should happen, and the lawyers representing the parties should ensure that this order is being complied within 48 hours. Otherwise, those lawyers, there is, I don't know whether you're going to say, there is a way you make your judgment so that nobody will have a limited interpretation, especially when it has to do with political matters.
Oh, well, yeah, we did report of it that there have been tight security at the Senate today, considering her declaration to Yes, to resume plenary today. But let's look at the flip side to this, though, if you like, whether it's flip or a continuation of the conversation, really. And that, well, first, I think that without ordering you counsel, and I like that you maybe move a little backwards so that we can see your fine hair clearly, and fantastic, yes, so that your hair, and we're not seeing just very good. So let's advance in the conversation. What does this court's ruling, from your standpoint, say about the balance between legislative autonomy and judicial oversight? There are those who are saying that the legislature should be independent, the judiciary as well independent, the executive independent, that none should necessarily interfere with happenings within each of those arms of government. What do you say? Should the judiciary be giving directives in this sense, making orders that affect those within the legislature?
They are all working collectively. No one can function without another. When I was teaching a government in secondary school, a student of mine in Enugu asked me, "Sir, you talk about the three arms of government and separation of power. Which one among them is more superior?" Now, I threw that question to you, and people are going to ask you this question in their objective. Among the three arms of government, which one is more superior? Executive, legislature, judiciary, none of the above. So I understand. So if you should ask me, they are working in the same territory. But the judiciary, if you should ask me, is more superior. The person that tell me how judiciary is more superior. How judiciary is more superior is that the president, I'm talking about rule of law, I'm not talking about the rule in Nigeria. Don't ask me what this thing I'm giving you now. The president, the judiciary can unseat the president. The judiciary can unseat the Senate president. But the president cannot remove the judiciary. The governor cannot remove the judiciary. The Senate president cannot remove the judiciary. Then who is the superior? Now that was the reason why someone like my very self, Chief of Secretary and the rest of others, we are talking about full independence of the judiciary. We are talking about making judiciary what it's supposed to be. Because tell me a very good country, I will tell you how fortified, how good the judiciary is. You can see what Donald Trump is doing in America, using the executive order, doing what? Issuing unnecessary orders. All those orders are being declared null and void in various courts in America. I don't know whether you are following the events there. Now, the legislature, that's why they said, if the executive offends you, as you are now, the executive through the police come and destroy, you get you arrested unlawfully and beat you up, violate your right in that studio. Where do you rush to? You rush to the judiciary. If the legislature enacted a law that your laptop you bought with your money in your studio, that your laptop don't belong to you again, that the laptop belongs to us again, you rush to the court.
Yeah, I'm sure Maxwell Okpara is not rushing to the courts. It's the network, really. Hopefully, we have him reconnected in just a bit. He's, talking about the independence of these three arms of government and how they work together as well. Well, again, the conversation has been about Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, who has said she'll return to the Senate following that the reported ruling by the courts last week, Friday, that the Senate has no such powers to suspend her. It's not the first time we're seeing this from the courts. It's been, there before in the case of the former deputy president of the Senate, Uvi Omagege, and it was declared that the Senate has no such powers. But hopefully, again, we have my guest, Maxwell Okpara, who's a barrister and solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, join me to conclude the conversation. He was just responding to my question on the independence of this various arms of government, the legislature, the judiciary, as well as the executive. Okay? All right, it's Homo Politicus, and this is Enterprise Television. You can stop by the comment section. Let me know what you think of the conversation so far. And the controversy this is generated. As mentioned in my conversation just a moment ago with Maxwell Okpara, the complex, the National Assembly complex, saw an additional security, if you like, arrangement today following the expected return of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan to the Senate, the Red Chambers. But how will that work? We would let you know as we continue to get reports from there. But yes, we'll continue the conversation with Max Okpara in just a moment. Do stay there. Don't stray breath.
Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth. 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 Enterprise TV, a tradition of truth.
Many thanks for staying there. This is Homo Politicus. You're live on Enterprise Television. Kingsley Bass is my name. Again, my guest, barrister and solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, Maxwell Okpara. Thanks for reconnecting with me today. Now let's talk about how how the legislature as an institution, how lawmakers should navigate internal disciplines without undermining democratic accountability. How should that happen without necessarily undermining democratic accountability, without infringing on the right of not just the representative being disciplined, but the constituents, that's Nigerians who have sent that representative to represent them at the National Assembly?
Yes, it's as simple as anything. Let me just finish with the separation of power. The separation of power is here. Now, the simple thing for you to maintain your integrity, you don't allow judges to be directing you up and down. It's why you follow the law. Using this particular issue of Natasha Akpoti and Gospel Apathy. When this issue started, Natasha came into the house, sat on the wrong seat, the seat that was not allocated to her, and they start making comments. And we said, the Senate said, no, you don't have right of audience. You cannot speak from that place. Two wrongs cannot make a right. If you have a good case and the channel it from a wrong procedure, you will lose it. Go to your seat. His colleagues directed him. Her colleagues directed her. Her colleagues tried to let her see the reason why she should obey and go back to her seat. She refused. Now, that now warranted her, the Senate, sending her to the disciplinary committee. Now, on her own, she brought a petition against the Senate President on sexual abuse. Now, the Senate President now did well, receiving that particular petition and is forwarded it to Ethics and Privileges Committee. Now, Ethics and Privileges Committee in the House unlawfully and shamefully said it is dead on arrival that there are some irregularities that they found in that petition. One expected them, in order to help the Senate President, to ask her, put the house in order and come back. They receive it and dismiss it. And then now, I didn't think that the Senate President submitted himself to that Ethics and Privileges Committee, and he presented his own case, and they hear Natasha Akpoti allow that procedure to pass. Then they will now make a decision, and they say that upon hearing the parties, upon consideration of evidence before us, we cannot establish the petitioner cannot establish the petition against the Senate President. This petition is hereby dismissed. I don't know whether you are getting what I'm saying.
Yes.
Now, in suspending Natasha, you ensure that you follow what the rules say. The rules say that you cannot suspend someone more than 14 days. And then there is a laid down decision of the Supreme Court in the case of Indime. A lot of internal decisions, yes, people say that you cannot. You just follow them, not because you want to second the Senate President so as to have a good relationship with him. Now, see here the thing landed. Don't you know that anytime you take a decision and that decision is being obtained by the judiciary, it shows that you are not intelligent. It shows that you lack capacity to lead. I don't know whether you're getting what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just like when you make a submission in a meeting, and that submission is supported, you say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I withdraw it." It has reduced you. So that's why before you talk, you reason. Before you take any decision, you reason. So that one is on that. Based on what you said, for you not to fall into the target, into the trap, into the abuse, into the directives, into the insult of the executive, of the judiciary. Ensure that your decision, be you the governor, be you the president, be you the Senate President, any capacity you are, make sure that you are in the side of the law. Make sure that you carry the law along. Make sure that you take a decision. There are many ways of punishing Natasha in the house without even suspending her. When you allow, you did not put her in any committee. You did not put her in any no Jewish committee. No, it will be there. Anytime he raise hand, he say, "Can we hear you?"
Would that be just? Would that be just too?
No, I'm just talking generally.
The political way to get things done.
If you feel that you want to withhold somebody, which I'm not even against, because the more you're withholding and she will complain to her constituency. Look at what I'm passing through. And whoever that is supporting the Senate President is punishing you. Probably you are 3 senators from Kogi State and they are reporting, and the government is not doing anything. They are also shooting themselves on the leg because they are not depriving you. After all, you are already a rich woman. After all, you are already educated. You are known. So if they are depriving your constituency, punishing your constituency because of you, they are not helping themselves. They are making themselves unpopular. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the people will also revolt. So the point I'm making is that let us consider the law. Let us look at the law before we take our decision, so that we don't allow the judiciary to direct you. You can see when Buhari directed the chairman code of conduct to suspend to dismiss CJN, and insult to the federation. That thing is not an insult to Honor. It's an insult to me and you.
And that has been reversed now.
Now that it has been reversed, how do you place Buhari? Though you know that he's not interested in what you're saying, because he's not reasonable. Because if he's reasonable, he should be ashamed of himself wherever he is today. Because almost all decisions he took when he was there have been declared unpopular, and they are judged as the worst administration Nigeria ever produced. So if it's somebody that had come from a reasonable family, they should bury their So whatever thing we do today, we see. That's why we are calling them. We have been watching them since 1999 at in opposition. All the presidents from Obasanjo to Yar'Adua to Jonathan are in opposition, and they are calling us names. But we thank God that even if they are not listening to us, at least let it be a record that we are talking.
All right, Barrister and Solicitor of the Supreme Court of Nigeria, Maxwell Okpara, I'd like to thank you so much for your time discussing this legislative controversy, and now that the judiciary is involved. We know that this matter has not concluded yet. The case continues. It's just one part of the ruling which, the court has said, Justice Binta Nyako has said, she should, return to her legislative duty. Again, the controversy as to whether the Senate should make that declaration on the floor, recalling her, or she should just simply resume. Of course, that controversy continues. But we'd like to thank you so much for your time. Any final thoughts before we go?
Yes, I want to thank you for the good work you're doing. I don't know whether your studio is in Abuja, because I don't like this kind of talk. I don't like talking to you. I normally come to studio so that I will marshal out my phone very well. But once again, I thank you for the good work you are doing.
We appreciate that. Of course, we can have that conversation. Thank you so much. Alrighty then. That's HOMO POLITICUS for you today. Stop by the comment section. Let me know what you make of this conversation and the continuous controversy. Will Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan be allowed back into the red chambers to continue her legislative duties? By the way, she did mention too that she didn't stop her legislative duties with the people of Kogi Central Senatorial District. We've seen her, in fact, just a few days ago, there was a report of the commissioning of projects. There was a visit to the monarch, Kene, and things like that. Oh, well, we hope that things get right, and we will continue to monitor development and bring those your way. Again, have a fun time, and keep watching Enterprise Television. Kingsley Basi is my name. Until next time, may God continue to bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Bye for now.